How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Falcon's Media Corner back again with a brand new video for today. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. This time for this new episode for the series is going to be my review on the 2024 romantic comedy drama film, and that is Fly Me to the Moon. Now, in this film, we see that Scarlett Johansson plays this marketing specialist named Kelly Jones, and Channing Tatum playing a NASA launch director named Cole Davis. And this film is set against the backdrop of the Apollo 11 mission. And in this film, we see that Jones and Davis, they are being tasked to create a fake moon landing in case the actual mission fails. So that's pretty much the story of Fly Me to the Moon. Now, this film is directed by Berlanti, in which you may know him as the director of the 2018 movie Love, Simon, in which I overall really adore that movie. I do think it's a really wonderful movie. It's definitely one of my favorite teen movies of the last decade, and also one of my favorite LGBTQ plus movies as well. And he hasn't directed the movie in a while, so when I heard he was making a new movie, which was this one, I was actually really intrigued to check out what he was going to be doing in this new movie he was making at the time. And once I did see the trailers for this movie, I was actually really interested to check this one out here, since this was a new film that was made for the summer here. And this film came out on July 12th, but I didn't see this on opening day because I wanted to see Despicable Me 4 first. So I did check out this movie the day after it came out, which was July 13th, and there was a lot of people on the screen that I went to for this movie. And after watching this whole movie here, I overall had a pretty good solid time here with Flying Me to the Moon here, although I wouldn't say it's Greg Berlanti's best since Love, Simon, but this was still overall a solid watch here. First off, Scarlett Johansson I thought was really good in this movie, and she does manage to steal every scene that she was in through the majority of this movie. And her character, I actually found her character to be pretty interesting here through her backstory and the past that we do learn about in this movie. And Channing Tatum I thought was also really good as well, and the chemistry between the two leads in this movie I thought was really charming here through the charisma that they do have to themselves here. And as for everyone else who are in the film, in which you've got Woody Harrelson, he was really good in this movie, and yeah, he is pretty funny. And Romano as well, I thought he was also really funny as well. And Rash, he was really fun in the movie, yeah. And every time he was on screen for some of the scenes that he was in through the majority of this movie, yeah, he does manage to steal some of those moments that he was in through the majority of this film, yeah, because he's just so funny, yeah. And as for everyone else who were in the film as well, they were all pretty solid and yeah, fun for the most part. And when it comes to the overall filmmaking as well here for this film, I actually found it to be pretty good looking here in terms of the production set and the timing of the film, which I've really liked all of that, because it's an old-fashioned film and it's set in the 60s, and it did make me feel like I was watching a film that was made for that decade, Like, we had to see like the cars and other things as well that like what we were like in the 1960s and so on. And there are times where the film does use a bit of green screen here and there, and I kind of felt some of those moments felt a bit iffy when they do use some of that here. And the runtime for the film I did feel was rough because it's 2 hours and 12 minutes. And it's mostly towards like the final act of the film once we get to see the whole like moon landing stuff, which for that aspect I did like. And I also did like the first two acts where those two acts mostly plays off as like a romance, as romance when it's and all that, because it's mostly due to the chemistry between Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum. But once after the whole like moon landing stuff, I kind of felt like the film would have ended already and all that, but it kept like going on and on and on and all that, and I felt like the film would have ended already and all that, but it kind of ended a bit way too late and all that when once the film was about to draw to a close and all that. But all in all, Fly Me to the Moon, I overall had a solid time here with this new romantic comedy film here. And if you're overall a huge fan of like the two leads, or you're a fan of like director Greg Berlanti, or you're a fan of movies that have something to do with like Apollo 11 or anything like that, I would say this will be a cup of tea here. So that's pretty much all I'd say about Fly Me to the Moon. I'm going to give Fly Me to the Moon 3.5 out of 5. All in all, a solid flick here. And another thing I forgot to mention about this movie here is that this movie also has something to do with the cat as well. And when it came to some of those moments with the cat in this movie, they were generally pretty funny for the most part here as well. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching my AK After I Saw review on Fly Me to the Moon. And let me know what you think of this movie if you have seen this already, or if you just recently checked this out. Did you really adore this one, or is this not your cup of tea? As always, thank you guys so much for watching. And this has been Falcon's Media Corner signing off.